Hi guys, today we have a Technics CD player. It should be a pretty simple job. The customer states that it's just not opening, the tray is not opening. So it's more than likely just a belt issue. We'll have to take the deck out just to get access to the belt. Yeah, should be an easy one. Let's get going. So before we go ahead and take the deck out, we're just going to verify that what the customer says is correct. The unit's powered on. If I press eject, you can see that it does need some help. That time it worked. It does sound a bit labored, so I'm pretty sure that it's just a belt issue. So we'll get the deck out, have a look at the belt, and also check the, the track, I guess you can call it. Make sure that there is grease on there. I do see some overspray of grease or oil over here. Could be that there's just a build-up. Sometimes if you put too much grease, it has the opposite effect and ends up getting bogged down with dirt and dust. Creates like a sticky texture. Makes it hard for the tray to move in and out. Let's get this out and find the belt, see what it looks like. Okay, so we got the deck out. It was basically just 4 screws. The deck pops out, and there's the belt. You can see that it's lost its springiness, I guess you can call it. But another thing I noticed is that, I don't know if you can see that, it's got a lot of oil residue on it. I think what has happened is somebody has greased this and put a little bit too much grease on. You can see the rollers here and there, and some of that grease has gotten onto the belt, which is not going to help something that's supposed to grip if it's full of oil. So we'll go through our belt selection here. I think we should find a belt that's the same size, but before we do that, we're going to have to clean up the area where the belt's going to ride, otherwise it's going to make no point. So we're going to just use some isopropyl. Try and clean the areas where the belt's going to ride. Obviously I don't want to take the grease off where it's needed, but it's certainly not needed on the belt pulleys. Oh my goodness, look at that. Very, very dirty inside there. Clean up all this residue here. Sometimes when you are lubricating something, less is more. You put too much on, it has the opposite effect. It ends up causing issues down the line. Look at that. Q-tips I'm going to go through. Obviously got to make sure that this is really clean, otherwise there's no point putting a new belt on. Getting there. Should be a little bit better. Let's have a look in our little bag of tricks here. Let's see. Let me clean this old belt so that I can handle it without putting grease all over my fingers. How dirty that belt was. Okay, now I'm not going to compromise my other belts. Too big, too small. This one maybe. That's the one. I think that is the one. Let's get it around there without getting it full of grease. Let's put it on this way. Get back in. What's going on here? Ah, there we go. So before I put it back together, I'm just going to use my power supply to engage the motor, the loading motor, to see if it moves in and out without that labored sound that I heard before. How am I going to mount? I can't really do this. Let's see if I can do it. So power supply, what we're going to do, that's going to open. Positive and negative. That opens. Reverse the leads. Hold on. Let's do that a couple of times. Sounds like it's good. Especially if you don't slip off the connections. Whoop. a bit too far there, came off the track. The little switch is supposed to stop the motor when it's in circuit. Obviously when you're doing it manually it doesn't stop. That sounds good. Just want to have a look at the belt again to see it hasn't picked up any more grease from around the area, so it should be good. So let's get this back together and we will give it a test. Let's put these belts back before I mix them up. These are new ones, and that's the old one, which I like to keep the old ones just to show to the customer, just so that he sees exactly what I'm talking about. You can see it's lost its stretch completely. So we'll get the unit back together and give it a test. Okay, so the deck's back in place and seems to be working good. It feels like it has pretty good torque there. When I put a little bit of pressure on the door on the way open, you can feel that it's pushing quite well. Looks good. We'll pop a CD in, make sure that it plays okay, just to make sure that there's not a secondary problem. Let's see. Spins up. Okay, seems to be playing okay. I will hook it up to my amp just to make sure that it's working 100%. I'll see you in a minute. So I have the unit hooked up to my amp and it seems to be playing pretty well. Awesome, so it seems to be working pretty well. So it was just a belt issue. Cleaned up some loose grease, I guess you can call it, that had found its way onto the belt, and also changed the belt. You could see that the belt was really worn down or lost its stretch. You could probably get away with putting this into some rubber renew, give it back its springiness. But if you have the belts, then it's best just to change them. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.